Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Stardust Gaming, and I have something a little bit unique for you guys today. A little new format. I guess I'll call it, Game of the Week or something, where I cover a particularly interesting match. We have a 4v4 here on Mount River, and this is already posted as the 7th Panzer Division gameplay number 11, right? But I wanted to kind of show you guys this game and walk you through it because it's kind of pretty interesting. So standard start, right? Markup, people are talking to each other on my team, which I'm like, good teamwork, always good to see someone start talking because it's like, okay, that means that you're not gonna by yourselves. And then boom, SBSU, I'm artillery only. And I pause over tanks because I'm fighting the urge to like comment and like mold and seethe and cope because we're on a 4v4 and there's a player going artillery. Um, which is ridiculous. But, I take my hand off the button. I don't say anything because I'm like, fuck it. Probably should have said something. And we're just going to play the game. And this is, I think you guys are going to find this really interesting as on the whole because it's a weird game. I think someone commented on my video, like, on this, like, clown team. Like, it's a clown car all around. My allies are clowns. The enemy team are clowns. Like, and look, you need to go here. I think Mike or whatever is posting that on my team. And Mike knows what he's doing, but I'm like, I'm not gonna push with shitty medium East German armor against like whatever could be coming at me. Like I am gonna assume command of the tree line and then push up the sides. Like you can't go center, and so I'm like, fuck off, like you need to go here. So no way I'm pushing without any forward deploy either. So my goals, right, as the East Germans, Panzer Division, medium tanks, not very good, and then you've got infantry. I'm like, hold the flanks, like hold down the defensive line with AGTMs. Use tanks to get like cheeky side shots, and that's the way it's gonna go. And so I say basically that much. So here we go. Game is starting. Push ahead a little bit more. Game is starting here. We're moving forward, our guys are kind of getting in position. Immediate enemy arty, and so I'm low-key like, that's kind of good, because that means the enemy is like noobs. Like, they spent their command points, like their CP, on artillery um, right off the bat, which you should never do. Except for maybe like in ranked and like very certain circumstances, but not even in ranked, honestly, so no excuses. And I'm getting ready to set up a line of recon and tanks on the left side here to create this bowl-shaped, this little bowl-shaped killing zone, and then I want to get AA, AGTMs, and infantry, or AA, recon, and AGTMs over here to cover lake, right? And these AGTMs maybe pop things that show up. So infantry blob is on the move, right? Thick enough to just clear anything in its path. SPSU, true to his word, has gone just MTLBs, like full retardation, like carrying 152, 122 millimeter guns. And at this point, I realize that I'm going to hold off probably 2 people, and so I'm like, okay, SPSU, like, please send a CV to Elena, because I can't be buying CVs for both zones. I get a command tank up right away, second, third tick or whatever, but I'm like, I can't do this by myself, so, I need CVs. And here comes the enemy. I put up AA right there, because I'm like, oh, great. There's flanking helicopters, but I don't know how bad it is, but we're going to see how bad it gets, how out of retardation. Like, I mean, this is bad. I mean, and you're bringing him so close to the front. And when I saw that Atlanta was capped, I was like, okay, like, and SBSU doesn't know what a CV is, and I'm kind of molding right now. And so I'm just like, command vehicle. Like, put a command vehicle in Atlanta anywhere. He brings out 4, so this guy must be a noob, and he brings out 4 command vehicles, which I don't know why he had that many points he was sitting on. And it was really weird. So it must have been a total noob. But tanks moving up, infantry moving up, got good recon, covering the open ground, and I realized that there's enemy infantry landing, and this is going to be really annoying on the left side here. And then Mike is like, attack beacon, and it's like, thanks, that's really helpful. So, Aufklauder go out. They should have been on the lake line, but they're here instead, and they can actually see some good stuff. So, I bring out my planes. I kind of debate for a second, then I just choose the AT one, just in case I need to do some CAD. Tow Cobra coming in, very scary. So here comes the AT plane, and it's got the really strong 30mm, dual 30mm cannon, 160 rounds. This will rip apart enemy helis. Doesn't matter if it's tow cobras or chinooks or what. I mean, like, bonk. I think it killed it before the missile even hit, so I was like, nice. Enemy respawn totally inadequate. Like, usually noobs move through the forest on the left. I don't know if this guy was a noob, but after this, he probably wouldn't move through the left forest again, because it did not go super well for him. And this is what I'm talking about. I actually zoom in because I've played like 500 hours, 600, 700 hours, and I've never seen the MI9 get deployed, and so I'm like, wow. Um, and obviously it actually survives just a ton of rounds, so I set on my plane to try to kill more stuff. Enemy player surrenders, which is gratifying, but SPSU is asleep at the wheel, so it doesn't really matter. Boom, CV comes in here, look, another CV here, another CV. This thing lands, gets immediately popped by the arrow rifle's like AT capability or whatever. Look, bonk. Oh my gosh, just ridiculous. And then I see an Apache and I'm like, okay, he hasn't learned his lesson, so I'm glad he's hitting helis because I can just keep buying planes when the tick comes around and I'll just put him down, which is fine by me. So it's whatever, you know. Get the recon up, get the flank under control is my mindset, and like, you know, whatever. This guy has a BDRM right next to the zone. I don't bother telling him because it's not worth my time to like type it. I'm just like, it's not worth it. So I just move my own tanks and it'll be faster, and I'm busy clicking and trying to move guys, and I'm like, kill the Apache, like, you know, it's just the most dangerous thing. I mean, not dangerous at the moment, but like, I just want to get some points too, right? I kind of score whoring a little bit, but, you know, it's like killing an Apache with a plane, like, who can resist? Who can resist it? Who can resist it? So, Strela loses its rock, you know, doesn't succeed. This guy will destroy it. Peel a rocket off of the tow cobra, which misses, but whatever. You know, Apache down, and then boom. Here we go, right? Enemy infantry push. Enemy push. Big push. Right in the center. Spectre, which is not an AI, is pushing 2 M1HA Abrams, a Recon Bradley, and 2 APCs of Inf coming up, and I'm just going to cut him apart because he deploys in a really retarded way. So here comes the boom, side shots, killing those vehicles. The Bradley's down, and now we've got 2 CVs and an M1HA, and so my tanks just sit here. They're like, okay, pop that, and there's a Abrams there, so I pull back because I can't engage with T-72s. And if you just saw, that whole zone just collapsed, so those 2 CVs were their whole CV, so I don't know what the plan was. Must have been a total noob or something, but, I mean, it's like whatever, right? So, you know, fire coming in. My Conkers are gonna start landing rounds, and the Conkers are gonna start dying, and that's gonna see there's one dead. You see the notification, it's dead. So the Conkers dying is gonna be a theme that's pretty common. Enemy planes coming in, destroying. Mike sent some help, and it's destroyed. So that's why you stay in your sector. And I send the T-72s to kill the M1HA. My mistake, though, I don't tell them to concentrate. I just attack move, and so one of them gets stuck on the engineers, and the other one is, like, fucking damaged. And I'm like, oh shit, like, don't follow that Abrams. Like, you're gonna die. And I have it pull back. Just by luck it survives, but it's gonna die in a second, as you're gonna see. So I send the other T-72 in, and I'm like, maybe you can get a kill. But then I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna hit that thing head on anyway. I'm gonna lose, so I don't really care. F-111 sends in a cluster. Good cluster, right? I don't think it dies, and it destroys both tanks, so, you know, good play. Like, call it good play when it happens. Like, lost that, so, you know, it's whatever. Cap is still flying helicopters, attack helicopters around, and I'm still using SEAD planes. I rebuy the Conkers. I have no tanks, so I'm kind of in trouble in center. No AGTMs. And enemy pushing my left, infantry, but here I'm like, I get greedy. I'm like, I can't resist the side or back of the M1HA, and I realize, like, how fucking, like, deep fried it would be for me to kill his M1HA with a T-55. Not just a T-55, but the command version, so I go for it. This was a greedy move. Admittedly greedy. Like, I pull these back, they lost their targets. I don't want to fight AA. I get the hit, and then I stick it, and then I die. So, mistake on my part. I got greedy, but whatever. So M1AHA is sitting there. The other one is also damaged from the AGTMs, so it's just sitting over there. And I had no right to be okay. I'm like, this is not good now. Despite that crazy push, I just didn't have enough strength, and so I'm like, it's whatever. So I move more T-72s up. I know my flank can hold because of the infantry, but I'm like, I'm going to be in trouble, so my special off-claude goes down. I'm moving up AA, moving up this. I know I need more AA because the enemy planes are just flying everywhere. So, situation is, okay, Torito's just moving a huge swarm of, like, tanks up, and then look. This guy, Spectre, moves his M1HAs right into my infantry blob. And I destroy one, they're both damaged, here comes the other one, gone. So, the same Motoschützen kills 2 M1HAs, so that should have never happened. Big mistake on his part. But saving grace for me, because now things are more even. I don't know why I didn't pull him back to repair. I know these engineers have no AT capabilities, so I'm not afraid to move this TF-55 up. Get some recon up, right? They can't even fight the Streelers, really, so I don't want them too close just in case, but like I know I'm going to be fine, so, you know, no biggie. New tanks are on the way, and then I look and I notice that there's enemy AA shooting up, and there's helicopters, and I realize I haven't been looking, and so I'm like, okay, send in the planes to deal with this problem, right? So here comes the plane wave. Engineers are just pushing for no reason. And I notice that there's enemy AA planes, and so I'm like, you know what, evac. Like, let the SEAD draw the fire, and this thing gets a kill. But I don't get greedy, I don't go for the Chinook, like, just pull back. Don't go head-to-head with Fighting Falcons. And this one flies over, and I've got a good blob of Strelas, so it just dies instantly to the triple Strelas, so I know that everything's going to be fine there. I've got some points, so I want to get BMPs, because usually what I'll do is, right, you'll take your BMPs and just get recon and stick your BMPs right here, and those HETMs will just pop enemy vehicles to their sides or rear, or just like AA guns, right? Bunk, bunk, bunk. So that's why these are coming up, and I'm planning using this infantry to clear this flank, and then maybe move up here, depending. Which is what ends up happening. Arrow rifles ambushing SPSU's artillery back there in the woods for no reason, and fun to watch the TOW-55 just like doing some dirty work there on him. And I'm not ready to I don't have any air-to-air planes, and I don't have the points to join the battle anyway, because I'm trying to hold down like the center, this whole position basically. And I get those guys recon. It's too weak, so I want to get some side view. So here comes the enemy. My T-72s are finally here. They're so slow. And this is when I notice that there's an enemy AA gun. It's the 20mm Pivots, radar guided here. It's radar guided, so I'm like, okay, just clean it up with the SEAD aircraft, like no problem. But it's going to become a bigger issue than might originally appear, as you're going to see here in a second. So here they come. They're going to spot it, fire. 2, 3 missiles and misses. I lose another Conquerors. Standard practice. Just got to replace it again. But that thing's still alive, and it's gonna just resist SEADing. I think I just maybe it's sheer luck. Maybe it was behind Hillock or something. But anyway, I'm getting good value kills despite it. I'm getting the CVs, the M3 Bradleys, which are worth a lot, and stuff like that. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad. But I do know that T-72s can't go head-to-head with Abrams. So they fire one round and they're back, right? Oh, there goes that. Again, lost one. I get greedy because I'm like, oh, their timing will be off because they shot that. But T-72 still can't take them head on. I destroy one, and then just pop smoke on this, and I'm like, maybe this guy can take it. At this point I retreat, but it's too late. He will die to the Abrams, just rips it up, rips the turret off. So, whatever. Pull back. Time to get more AGTM, more Conquers. And, whatever. Time to get more Conquers up, and then I need to get another T-72. And then at this point, I've got some extra points, so I'm like, just throw Strelas up here and just use them to kill helis. So, that's the plan, and we'll say it does not work as intended originally. I get some supply up because I know I'm going to need some chunky supply. So these I actually moved to supplement the fire here because I know that it's not going to be enough. This M1 Abrams is going into the kill bowl. It's not set up at all, but I still get the kill because he just blundered in. TOW-55 from the side. That's embarrassing. But, you know, whatever. I think that, I don't know who that player is up here, but they're doing good work just distracting the Apaches and stuff and, like, you know, causing problems and being a nuisance. Because I didn't take the full brunt of the attack, thank God. And on this side, the attack's actually doing well. You can see that Mike or whatever has units all the way up here, and so that's good. Infantry push, unsupported really, but it's okay. Got my BMPs chilling, ready to go. Now I'm like, I can clean up this flank, move up a bunch of infantry, like Strelas up on the left, and that will work, right? And I'm gonna realize that the enemy penetration on the left is deeper than I thought. I'm gonna zoom back and look, arrow rifles are here. And they just get destroyed by this. I should have unloaded right away. I thought I could zoom past. That was arrogant, so definitely lost there. I sent the Seat out to destroy that pivots, and again, both of them fire, both of them miss. One of them's heavily damaged, so that doesn't work. So I'm like, forget it. You know, whatever. I lost to T-72 again. Standard practice, just replace. And I'm gonna see some enemy vehicles here, the pivots. And I'm like, this is an opportunity. Like, thank goodness these are here, because I can pop them at short range with the motor shoots in. But it doesn't go quite as well as I thought. I thought I could just destroy them, but it doesn't work that well. Part because of the Bradley. That soaks up a round. I do destroy it. But the pivots pin me, and I'm kind of disorganized there. That misses, that RPG-18 misses, so it's like botched attack. Fortunately, the enemy is just pushing really badly here in the center, really awkwardly, so I'm doing okay. Strela's gonna go out, right, harass enemy helis. And SPSU is just driving MTLBs into the kill zone. So that's whatever. You know, don't know what to make of that exactly. Pivots are holding up surprisingly well. But, you know, situation could definitely be better, and don't have the pool reserve I'd like. I noticed the Strelas are kind of back. Push them forward. I do return fire, then I realize the thing has 1 health, and so I'm like, oh fuck it, yeah, we can kill this guy easy. So I like knock the tail rotor off this thing, and it falls to his doom, which is really satisfying. Don't pilot a 1 or 2 HP Apache into infantry blob, you know, not gonna win. Even with the rebalancing, it's still not gonna take it. And I'm hoping that I can get the kill, and I do. They're stunned now. This guy's gonna die later, so it's whatever. So let's skip ahead just a little bit here. You know, Seat going out again. Mission failed. They actually do kill the pivots there, finally. Or actually, no, they don't. They don't. But I'm going after an Apache I spotted, and so by accident, that thing kills the pivot, so I don't get the Apache. First hit, but I circle around. And here I come, and I'm like, oh god, this guy's gonna steal my kill. But I'm like, nope. 37 mil guns to the side, rips the Apache apart with the missiles, no chance. It's a good deal. These guys are moving up on the side. Sneaky breaky. Good stuff. Knocking out a pivot at close range is a tank. In a second, another pivot's dead. Love to see it. At this point, AA strikes would have been good because the enemy AA is so depleted. It would have been like an appropriate move. I just didn't think about it. But I destroyed 4 pivots in like short succession, so their AA should have been pretty cleared out. But finally, I get the BMPs out where I want them, covering the lake. Although this point's not super useful. And I stop them because they're out of AT. I let these guys just sit here. No need to push. Just ambush the road. Right. Enemy plane coming over to get destroyed by my Strela cluster again. There it goes. So big mistake. SPSU is just pushing like infantry and helicopters like across the enemy, and to be fair, it does seem to like have a harassing effect. So that's good. Here's Mike. Going to make coffee back in a few minutes. I'm like, bruh. I mean, he did secure his sector, but I'm like, dude, like, let's keep our eye on the ball here. Like, you know, go make coffee after this game's done. But we have a commanding tick advantage, which is great. I know the situation's pretty good at this point. Enemy has just a ton of arty going, so they're buying arty instead of like frontline units, which is what they need. So, good deal for us. Good deal for us. Blackhawk Swarm coming. I try to deter with the Strelas, and it does work. I almost lose the Strela, it's just by luck that I don't. Anyway, infantry reinforcements for the previous like heavy losses. Coming up, I'm gonna try to get ballsy with the Strelas here, but it does not work. Yeah, I've got extra points to burn, so I'm like, just drop arty. Like, put the points to work when possible. I get a hit. then I see fire coming in, so I'm like, oh, retreat. And just by luck I survived, but just by luck too, they survived too, right? Napalm comes in. Bad napalm. Usually airstrikes are bad. They're usually not very good, and you know that does kills one infantry, and that plane probably got shot down, so because he flew all the way over Mike's lines. Anyway, heavy artillery coming in. It sucks to be under barrage like that, but the enemy should have been buying like something actually useful. So this is actually really interesting to watch because this thing, was told to move somewhere, and I assume, the AI charts the best route, and it decided that terrain flying is the best way to go. So it actually goes up this thing here, which saves it from death by the Strelas. So pretty cool that the AI can do that naturally. They do open up with their assault rifle there, but that thing's fine. And it looks like there's just SPSU's got like long range recon messing up the enemy rear lines, which is actually kind of useful. I buy a bunch of Strelas to put up here because I'm like, these two aren't enough. We just need a lot more, and the enemy's not giving up with their heli pushes, so I just get a boatload of them to go out. But unfortunately for me, the enemy has eyes here, rifles and stuff, covering with laws, so kind of in trouble there. That did not go well. So I just start firing with all my artillery at random, and I just drop mortars here. I'm like, this will be fine. Here comes the enemy push of carriers, and it runs my infantry guys right out of weapons. Like, they run out of AT, and they're gonna die. Except for, this is never a good move to just drive our personal carriers, but they are gonna die because they run out of AT. But fortunately, that one dies, but one round from the Conkers finds its target and knocks out the M1A3, which is good for me, of course. So I appreciate my teammates here pushing right across. That's taking pressure off of me, and it helps me cover the right more, and I'm just like, fuck it, just buy mortars. Like, I'm already manhandling enough. I've got a ton of Strelas coming in, so I just want to put mortars over there, repay the favor, and have them auto-fire and take out some targets, F-16 comes in, wiped by, oh yeah, there's nothing to shoot there. Yeah, the Strelas get him. The, infantry Strelas do the first hits, and then the vehicle Strelas get the last laugh, usually. Whatever, so things are good here. I'm like, okay, time to do an infantry push. T-7A2s are replenished, so they can cover, presumably, so we're going to do a little infantry push and skip up a little bit more here. All my Strelas are coming in. Look, more airstrikes against aircraft. This is just extreme retardation, so whatever. Strelas not holding up against tow cobras because they by themselves or even in pairs, like, they'll probably die at close range. Like, they can't kill it at a time. But I maintain the visual, and I'm like, great, get the kill with that. Enemy air comes in, so I'm like, just, pull this guy around and get the kill. But I do lose him because of that. Arrogance. And enemy artillery is stunning my T-72s, which put these Bradleys in a really good position to pop them. Those 25mm cannons are just hitting them, and then the missiles, short-range missiles, just donk. Bonk. Not good situation for me. And then I realized there's mechanized rifles here too, so that did not go well. That was bad. My T-72s got wrecked right there. And I'm like, how am I going to stop these mechanized rifles? Because if I had like Leopards or like Charlies or Abrams, like, I could just overwhelm them with fire and just kill them, but I don't. I just have medium tanks, and the Dragon 2s are going to kill me, and so I'm like, what do I do? But fortunately, SPSU is just moving up with helis here, with more infantry, to continue his, or just more attack helis, to continue his, weird push in the back, and credit where credit's due, they are here to stop the mechanized rifles, and push them back a little bit, which is amazing. I'm like, thank goodness. I get my infantry repaired so they can actually take them on head-to-head. Now look, captured UAZ 469's coming back because of my Strelas that came up were dying. That's why I moved them up to the right side here, and so I'm just tired, and so I'm like, just move them all, just walk them over, I don't care, just command, attack, move, just walk all the way up to the hill, it's whatever. Bad move, but it's okay. And infantry infantry coming up here and a combined blob, which is nice, and my Australis here. I'm going to shamelessly steal some supply, swap these around for good coverage. And yeah, Cap never gives up the left side air push, but it's costly because he's flying planes into nothingness, and then like, you know, F-111 hits nothing because there's no vehicles there. Like they don't have enough spotting. Like not a good overall move here. So it's whatever. So these guys, I finally remember to order these guys to fire on the move, and I moved these MTLBs back to kind of be like spotting for me. I realized I don't want them to drive in front of the enemies, so I move them here, but I want those MTLBs to kind of sort of strip wires in the rear areas because the enemy keeps penetrating back there. But look, we have a commanding tick, so all this nuisance back here is not enough to deter me from anything. And we're actually a little bit in trouble here against mechanized rifles. Infantry not sufficient. These things can't stand up to even a single hit, although fortunately they miss. So it's like, what happens now? But fortunately, SBSU is sending more infantry up in his push, so those helis show up in the nick of time to stop the attack. Here they come, making it safe enough for me to use my tanks because they're already under fire from helis. Thank goodness. Good stuff there. Rockets just ripping them apart. Yeah, that hurts. Wow. So anyways, you know, I realize that my infantry up here are pretty overexposed. So I realize I need to pull them back because I know those helis can just wreak havoc, and I move up the... I actually don't move the AA. I'm like, I just don't move it. But, you know, look, the Chinook supply is sitting there. There's an enemy tank here, which these guys are finally getting across, and these start shooting them up. I'm like, oh god. My aircraft are being repaired, so this is a nuisance on this side. This is why I switched using this route entirely, because this route is under fire. But that's what happens. Look, even if you do a whole player, and you get harassing all the way up and down this side, right? The enemy, if you want to keep pushing here, the other player can just use this land road, and he's going to be safe from you, even if you get all of this kind of capped. So, not successful, in my opinion. Waste of a player, and waste of a lot of aircraft and points, just trying to, you know, obviously Australia doesn't get the kill, but, like, on the whole, like, the balance heavily favors, like, our side, so... You know, we killed the napalm there with something, probably when it was banking over. Infantry coming back. Game's almost over. We have just a strong commanding tick. Mortars are working over there. I don't know what they're shooting at, but they're working, you know. I know I need to get recon up there, but game's over, so good game overall. And let's take a pause here and look. So, our kills here is 7180 to 1985. So, that's like 2,000 to 7,000, so that's like over 3 to 1. It's like 3.3, 3.4 to 1 KD. And we actually get a lot of the kills on our team. Look, the second highest kills is Mike, and he only gets almost 5,000. And then Torito somehow, I don't know how he does this, but he only gets 475 points of kills. So that's stunning. And SBSU, he does better than SBSU. So, you know, this guy, not a favor ratio. Mike and me basically play the match. And in this infantry division, the AI, right, 2 to 1 losses or more. So obviously a failure, but Spectre was just, I don't know what they were doing. And then Cap got a better KD, but like lost so many aircraft to AA that I don't think it was worth it. And it didn't have an effect. And 37th Engineers, I think, was mainly fighting Mike. And I think this guy was fighting Mike, the AI. So, you know, it's whatever. So let's look at the kills here. So planes doing work, like usually they don't in my games, but here, look, bonk, bonk, just hitting random shit, which is nice. T-72s getting kills they shouldn't have. You know, what a Schützen up there. Look, just getting vehicle kills. Like, this is where the bulk of my points are. Little infantry shooting things they should not be killing. This thing, right? Killing something worth 10 times its value. And T-72 is just being more of a nuisance than they should possibly be. Although they didn't kill any tanks, which is worth noting. So our kill contribution is 50%. So out of everything on the field, we killed half of everything the enemy sent, which is pretty good considering we weren't even fighting the AI. So pretty happy that we carried there, but it wasn't hard with someone like SBSU or Torito. You know, I don't mind if a noob is like learning, but like if you're learning by like putting arty everywhere, it's like, come on, like help the team. So 1.73 to 1 ratio. It seems like it was higher because it was like 2,000 to 7,000, so it should be like 3 to 1. This math always seems off, so I never rely on it, but I mean, this seems right. Like, this is good. So our AA gets the highest kills, not surprising. Nothing crazy, right? But, you know, 4 planes just got that luck of the draw kill. And it was probably the first one we put out, odds are, you know. But good ratio. Good ratio on that plane there. So, uh, with that many planes flying over, you're going to get lots of points. And this is the Motoshitsu Ital, so I got 2 Abrams tanks, which is ridiculous. So, M1HAs, so that's kind of funny. But anyways, that's all for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Something a little different, you know, here, just doing a game review of gameplay I've already done that looked particularly interesting, you know, or particularly worthy of note. So let me know what you guys think of this format. Weird game, clown car opponents, clown car teammates, you know. But you know, it was fun. It was unique. So thought it was worth showing off to you guys. So anyway, let me know if you want to see more of this kind of formatted video. If I do it, it'll be like video of the week or like game of the week, but it might be more like game of the 2 weeks because I might have a delay. Um, we'll see. It just depends. But I wanted to have some voice content that wasn't just guys, just some chill, laid back, like explaining gameplay, ASMR, Cold War moment. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comments what you guys like to see next. For now, this is your host, Star Destroyer Gaming, signing off.